بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. قال المصنف رحمه الله تعالى في كتاب رياض الصالحين في باب وجوب صوم رمضان وبيان فضل الصيام وما يتعلق به. Abu Zakaria Yahya bin Sharaf al-Nawawi says in his book Riyadh al-Salihin, The Gardens of the Righteous, in the chapter of the obligation of observing fasting during the month of Ramadan and clarifying its virtues and related topics. قال الله تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم الآية إلى قوله تعالى شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى. We're going to start to take the hadith and ayat that deal with the month of Ramadan, knowing that the month of Ramadan is near, inshallah. So it is a good review for us, being that this month of Ramadan is coming, inshallah. We can raise questions, inshallah, if we have any questions regarding this month of Ramadan, inshallah ta'ala. So Imam al-Nawawi brings the primary verse in the month of Ramadan, which is actually the month of the obligation, that brought the obligation of the month of Ramadan in particular. Now we know that the month of Ramadan was fasting was something that was prescribed before, but now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala legislated the fasting of the month of Ramadan, being that it is in the 9th month of the Hijri calendar, and that it is for 30 days. And we know the Prophet ﷺ also used to fast voluntary fasts, which we will talk about inshallah ta'ala. But here is the verse that brings the legislation of the fasting in the month of Ramadan, where he says after O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed upon you as it was prescribed upon those before you, perhaps that you may become of the muttaqun. Ayyam al-ma'dudat, fasting has been a fixed number of days, but if any of you is ill or on a journey, the same number should be made up from other days. And as for those who can fast with difficulty, i.e. the elderly, they have a choice to feed the miskin for every day. But whoever does good of his own accord, it is better for him. And that you fast is better for you if you only knew. So firstly here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about that it was prescribed. So kutiba alaykum as-siyam, meaning that it was a passive verb, that it was prescribed as it was prescribed upon the people before you. Perhaps you may be mindful. So here firstly we see that fasting was prescribed on the earlier nations, the earlier religions. Fasting was a means of righteousness. It was a means of abstaining from evil actions, or abstaining from those things which could cause one to do the actions of evil. And as we even see with Maryam alayhi salam, she was ordered to fast, but how was her fasting? What she says in the Quran, she fasted, but how? Not talking. No? Naam. So she said, Inni nadartu lil-Rahmani sawman, that really I made the oath, or I made another promise for the Rahman, Allah, sawman falan ukallima al-yawma insiya. So I will not talk to any human being. I will not talk to any man. And that's from the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah knew what was coming, that she was going to conceive a baby, and it was better that she wouldn't say anything, because Allah predestined that who would speak? Who? The baby, Isa alayhi salam. Isa. And all this was in the predestination and qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He made Isa speak at the time when they said, Ya ukhta Haruna, ma kana abuki imra'a sawin wa ma kanat ummuki baghiya. Oh, the sister of Aaron, your mother was not someone that was illicit, and nor your father was not someone that was an evil man, nor was your mother someone that was illicit. And then Jesus spoke. فَأَشَارَتْ إِلَيْهِ, she pointed to him. In any case, and that's when Isa said, Inni Abdullah. And this is a proof that Islam, you don't find this in Christianity, that Jesus spoke as a baby in the cradle. This is something that is special with Islam, which could be more of a reason for us to worship who? Which could be more of a reason for us to worship Jesus. Is everyone with me? When Christians say worship, he was miraculous, he didn't have sins. We say, well, you know what? Even on top of that, guess what? He spoke as a baby, but we still don't worship him. Right? All of this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In any case, that is how the word som, the word fasting was prescribed for, or that was another way that the word fasting was used for Maryam alayhi salam. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings the legislation, and we just want to capitalize on this first verse, and we'll capitalize on the next one tomorrow, inshallah. So it's prescribed for la'allakum tattaqun, and that's what we want to touch on, is that fasting is a means of mindfulness. Now, taqwa is a very comprehensive word. Taqwa comes from waqiya, which is wiqaya, which means to serve as a protection from many things. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, perhaps you may be of those that are mindful. So fasting, the ultimate goal of fasting is not to lose weight. The ultimate goal of fasting is not to have the good cells eat up the bad cells. The ultimate goal of fasting is a spiritual goal. It is a goal to stay away and abstain from those actions that could lead you away from spirituality, that could take you away from mindfulness. So taqwa can be translated as fear of Allah. It can be translated as mindfulness. It can be translated as seeking protection from using the good things as a protection, as a wiqaya, as a shield from the bad things. Taqwa is a very comprehensive noun. But we should understand that fasting this month of Ramadan, we should go in there with the ultimate goal of being of the muttaqeen, of being a people that are mindful of Allah, not only in the month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan should serve as a catalyst for a new habit for the next year. So we can look at something that we've been doing these past 11 months that is not good for us as human beings, not good for us as Muslims, and try our level best this month of Ramadan to serve as a transition for a catalyst to leave that action off, or to lessen it, or to bring forth a good deed such as charity. For an example, mashallah, many of you that don't know, there's a van here that they call Muslims Giving Back. Mashallah, the brothers have taken it upon themselves to make a van, and it's called Muslims Giving Back, and it's parked at Islamic Center of Irving. It's open for anyone. All you have to do is call the individuals, and they'll give you the key. If you want to take your family, you want to buy food from a restaurant, and you want to take the van, it just has warmers. You can take the van and go anywhere and distribute the food. Fi sabilillah. For the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it could be you and your family to teach your children how to give to those that are unfortunate. It could be a restaurant. It could be a youth group. It could be whatever. So take it upon yourself. You know what? Once a week, I want to take myself and my family, just my family, and we use this van and go. So something that is practical that someone can do to bring forth a good deed for themselves and for others, and to serve as an example. Maybe it's reading a hadith or an ayah after Maghrib on breaking the fast, just you and your family, with yourself. A habit that you want to start, not only for the month of Ramadan, but for the rest of the 11 months after Ramadan. To where the next month, it's another habit. It's another habit. Inshallah, that's what we'll be of the muttaqun, inshallah ta'ala. And that's what we want to conclude with, ultimately, that the goal of Islam, we can generically say that the goal of Islam is taqwa. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, when he talks about the Hajj, and he says that the blood nor the meat will reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when one does a sacrifice, وَلَكِنْ يَنَالَهُ التَّقْوَى مِنْكُمْ. But it is the taqwa that reaches Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the fact that you are mindful of Allah, being that you implemented something He legislated, even though apparently it may not make sense, which is sacrificing an animal for God. That didn't make sense to me when I converted to Islam. I didn't understand, why do I have to sacrifice an animal for God? I didn't understand the connection. But that's not the most important factor. It's that if I'm sure and I have yaqeen and certainty in God that He told me to do it, khalas, that's all that's needed for me. So this is what is important for us as Muslims in this month of Ramadan, that we fast. The first couple of days may be hard, it may be difficult. That's why we should start to practice now. We will cover, inshallah, some habits, inshallah, the Prophet ﷺ touches on in preparation for this beautiful month. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those that prepare in an adequate fashion for our souls, for those that are around us, and inshallah, for us to meet Him on a day where there's no return, and He'll be pleased with us, inshallah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه يا رب العالمين وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وانصر المستضعفين في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها يا رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.